And when it comes to your education, how far did you get with it up until this point?
I got a high school diploma, then I kind of went to community college, and then I got into a car accident, so then I stopped going. So, yeah, I stopped at community college, didn't finish it. And then I've been telling my mom college wasn't even for me, but I only went because of her, because I wanted to prove to her, like, I've been telling her it wasn't for me, but she keep harping college, college, college. So I went, and once she seen that it wasn't for me, she just, like, kind of, like, fell back from it, so.
So technically speaking, when did you stop community college? Was it freshman year, sophomore year, junior?
I stopped community college freshman year.
First semester, second
It
semester?
was second semester. Yeah.
Now, what was it about that car accident that got you to stop?
Well, first of all, I totaled my first car, like completely gone. So, and my mom had got it for me so that I had to ride back and forth to go to community college. So, like, when I crashed, I didn't really have no ride because she was working. Nobody was really home, and I was not about to keep spending money on Uber. So I just was like, I just ain't going. Fuck it.
Were you physically injured from that crash?
Um, the way that we crashed, I should have got injured, but I only had like a little scar on my nose, and that was it. But all the airbags came out, car completely totaled, spun out, everything, and it was two other people in the car, and nobody got hurt. So I think it was like an angel covering us or something, because the way that we crashed, it should have been worse.
And this was just a one-car crash. It wasn't.
Yeah, no, basically so the car that I had got it off a lot, and sometimes cars on lots, like, they don't be fully fixed. People just be wanting to sell them. So when I realized the transmission was messed up, I think that's the only thing that was messed up on that car, the transmission. So one day I was getting off the exit, and I didn't know that the exit, like, kind of, like, curved a little bit. So I wasn't going fast, but I was, like, trying to, like, slow down. And as I'm slowing down, the brakes kind of gave out. And I ended up hitting the side of the median, and then the car just spun out, and then we just sat there. And then I kind of, like, I had my eyes closed, and they was like, get out the car. And then when I realized that I was still loud, I was like, oh. So then I got out of the car, and then ambulance came, police came, and the car was totaled. I ended up buying me a whole nother car after that, so it is what it is.
Were you the driver?
Yeah. So now I kind of got, like, PTSD when other people drive, because it's like, I've been in a car accident before. I used to play with my life. Don't do that no more. And everybody out here be playing with their life, and I'd just rather drive.
Seatbelt on or seatbelt off at the time for you?
I can't even remember if I had a seatbelt on or off. I think it was on because the person next to me didn't have their seatbelt on, so they stopped themselves like this. I think I had my seatbelt on. Yeah, it was my first car, so I was trying to obey the law.
Would you credit the seatbelt with saving your life at all?
Yeah, I could have went flying out that windshield, but I didn't, so.
And miraculously, the person without the seatbelt survived as well.
Yeah.
Injury-free, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Now, the deployment of the airbag, what was that like? Did you actually feel that?
I did. And I'm thinking airbags is supposed to be soft. Those things are hard. Like, it literally came out and smacked me in my face, and I feel like I got the scar because of the airbag, not even because of the crash. It was the airbag. It's really hard.
Now, for someone that has never experienced that, are you able to give some sort of comparison on what that felt like? How hard that was?
Say, like, somebody is taking, like, a bag of rocks and, like, hitting you in the face with it. That's what it felt like. Yeah.
1 to 10, 1 being little pain, 10 being a lot of pain, what would you scale that at? Just the airbag deployment itself.
Probably like a 7. Cause, like, after it hits you, like, you just be so shocked. So, like, it just, like, the feeling kind of goes away. So it's like a 7.
And is it just air that, well, the bags deployed, they didn't break or anything. No holes in the bags. So nothing out of the airbag came out. And if it was probably just air.
Yeah.
Didn't know if it was like dust or,
I didn't know what hit me. I just know all the airbags said, phew, phew, phew. All the airbags came out. So.
Now, thinking back to that accident, could that have been preventable at all?
Um, Personally, yeah, because the story behind it, I was actually taking my sister to go fight somebody. So that was probably God's way of telling me, like, you should have. I was supposed to be in class. That's crazy. I was supposed to be in class in my community college. I was supposed to be in English class. And I ended up skipping class to go take her to go fight somebody. We was 2 minutes away, and then we ended up getting to that car accident. So I feel like that was God's way of telling me, yeah, you should have been in class.
Now, you may have answered some of these questions already, but going to formally ask you, just in case you want to add on, or if you felt like it was incompleted previously, then you can complete your answer. But what did that entire experience teach you? What did you learn from that?
Well, I learned to stop making other people's problems my problem, because that put me in a situation and I lost my car, all because she couldn't be grown enough to say, you know what, I'm not even about to go fight this girl. Like, it's not worth it. And I just, yeah, but see me, I'm the type of person, like, if my friends or somebody is into it with somebody and I'm there, like, they're going to be into it with me too. But I kind of learned how to, like, back off from that, because it actually put me in a lot of situations that really shouldn't have been that situation. So, yeah, taught me that. Yeah, and it also taught me to stop playing with my life in cars, because I really, before that car accident, I was a NASCAR speed racer. I thought nothing was possible. Like, after I got into that car crash, it humbled me a lot. Like, I really don't even play with my life like that no more. So,
What do you want people watching or listening to this interview to know about cars or airbags or safety when it comes to cars and things of that nature?
car accidents is really, like, no joke. It's traumatizing. I still got PTSD, and it happened in like 2018. Just like, cherish your life when it comes to cars, because people like to tend to think that speed racing is a game, and people really, like, die behind it. And I could have lost my life behind it, but God decided to give me a second chance. So just, like, be careful of how you drive, I guess.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone. So, generally speaking here, but let's say someone's in the audience and they've just experienced a car accident themselves. Anything you would say to them?
That just experienced a car accident?
Yeah, a victim of a car accident.
And they survived, right?
Yes.
What would I say to them? God gave you a second chance. And yeah, I don't know what I would say to a car accident victim. Did God give you a second chance? Because He gave me one too. Because those can be really severe, from non-severe to really severe. It's scary. It really is. No matter how bad the accident is, whether the airbags didn't come out, like, it's just the effect of the impact is, like, traumatizing.
Have you mentioned this car accident in your music at all?
No.
And anything else on the subject of this car accident while you're at it?
Not really. I just don't be getting in the car with these crazy ass people, because they like to drive fast. They be thinking, people think that driving fast means that you can drive, and whole time that's not what it means. Just because you can drive fast does not mean that you can drive. So I stay away from everybody that like to do that speed racing shit.
And when it came to that car, you mentioned that you end up getting, or eventually you end up getting a new car. How does insurance and things of that nature work in a situation like that? Do you get your money back for that car that crashed?
No, they tried to take me to court to continue to pay for the car, even though it was totaled. They really didn't care about that at all. Yeah.
And what ultimately ended up happening there?
I kind of don't even know, because it was kind of in my mom's name. It wasn't in my name, so I don't know what she did with that car. I don't know what she did with it. I just know I got a new car, But I paid for the new car because she told me she wasn't getting me another car, so I just paid for it.
And care to share what type of car that was back in those days that
One
that crashed?
Oh, it was a Nissan Sentra. I don't know. I forgot what year.
And you mentioned PTSD. Is that just a self-assessment there, or have you actually been diagnosed with that?
Oh, I diagnosed myself with it. I didn't go to a doctor or nothing. I only say that because, like, sometimes how people drive, like, one day I was in a car with somebody, and the way that they drove, like, it was like we was about to hit the other car. So, like, I kind of, like, flashed out and screamed or whatever, and they was looking at me like I was crazy, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I've been in a car accident before, so, yeah.
And even though you've never been diagnosed with PTSD, mentally, is this something you want to seek any professional help on?
Not really. It's something I diagnosed myself with because I didn't know the better word for it, so I just called it PTSD.
Didn't know if that was something that still is bothersome to you at this point.
Yeah.
You also mentioned God in this portion of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow a religion by any chance?
I mean, I'm Christian, but, like, I'm Christian to a certain extent. Like, how a lot of people believe in the Bible, I don't believe in the Bible. And I only say that because the Bible is literally, like, man-made. People wrote it. So it's like, I feel like, how can somebody really know exactly what's going on in the Bible if it's man-made? You feel me? So I don't believe in the Bible, but I believe in God because he helped me get out of a lot of situations.
And why Christianity for you out of all the religions out there?
I was born into it, so.
Mother's side, father's side, both?
Both.
And when it comes to Christianity, does it get any more specific under that religion for you? Like a particular branch under Christianity, for example?
No, not really. Like, I mean, I don't go to church or nothing like that. I just pray. That's all it leads down to.
And you mentioned community college here.
Mm-hmm.
Care to share the name of the community college you attended back then in those days as well?
John Tyler. It's in Richmond, Virginia.
And speaking of Richmond, I do want to ask you this. For those in the audience, getting to know you for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
I was born in Staten Island, New York.
And care to share where you were raised?
Greensboro, North Carolina.
And care to share where you reside these days?
Right now, I'm in Richmond, Virginia, but I'll be going back and forth from Richmond to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Now, does it get any more specific than that when it comes to where you were raised in North Carolina? Like a particular part of that area, for example?
Well, I mean, I was raised on the east side of Greensboro. Yeah,
and what were the different reasons for the moves? What was the reason for the move from New York to North Carolina and then North Carolina to Virginia?
Oh, that's not even it. If I told you everywhere I lived, okay, so we left New York because my mom didn't want me, like, she didn't really want me out there for real. We left when I was like, I don't even know the age, but her reasoning behind it was expensive and she wanted to be out the ghetto, so she moved us to North Carolina. Then I left North Carolina and I had moved to Florida, but we was in Florida for like 3 weeks. Then I left Florida, moved to Georgia, was there for like a year and a half, then moved back to North Carolina from Georgia to a different part of North Carolina, then went to a different part of North Carolina, then we moved to Virginia. Then after I graduated high school, and then stayed out there for a little bit, then I left and went back to North Carolina. But the reasoning behind that, it was a lot of family issues. I don't really want to go too much in detail, but it was a lot of family issues going on that made us move that much. So I wouldn't say we was trying to get away from somebody, but it was kind of like that.